Hey guys, so this is the video that Miguel and I put together. We hope that you like it.
Okay, let's see it.
Hi, it's Laurel Pardue. I am presenting Vodhrán, which is a project that we've been working on at SARC with Paul, Miguel, Matthew, and Maarten. The Vodhrán is an instrument that is designed to be a percussion proto-instrument. When we say proto-instrument, because it's not always designed to play the same way. We're trying to do studies looking at how people explore instruments and how people learn instruments, so being able to reconfigure it to play in different ways is a big part of what the design is for. The Vodhrán is composed of Sensel Morph, something we highly recommend as an interactive surface. And then inside there's a computer, a Latte Panda, and then it is driven using a virtual physical plate. So this sounds a bit like a metallic plate. But one of the cool things is we can use the morph to control things. So I can dampen it, or I can let it ring. So as I said, it's a proto-instrument, which means we can change how it sounds quite easily. So right now it's kind of on an open sound, or we can change it to a very closed sound. Because it's a physical model of a metal plate, this means that we retain a lot of the natural interaction that someone coming to hitting a plate might experience and expect. You wouldn't necessarily expect that that's going to be the way a plate would respond, but that's part of the fun of it, is we can change how it responds, but it still has some of that natural characteristics to it. We do highly recommend looking at the Sensel Morph as a tool for interaction. In this case, we specifically wanted to make sure that it was a kind of a more embodied feel, rather than giving someone just a Sensel Morph as a trackpad, so it is embedded here to look more like a percussion instrument. That also meant that inside, as I said, there is a small computer. We're using a Latte Panda Alpha. The thing that's really nice about the Latte Panda is it's more powerful than, say, something like a Bella, but it's also very compact. It can run Linux, it can run Windows, and you can also Hackintosh it, which is how we're using it. While we could be using Macs, we're using Reaper and 2 VST plugins that were built using Juice. There's one called Stomopsis, which is what runs reading the Sensel. And then that passes data onto Glossina, which is running the plate model. Now, one of the cool things that we're doing within the system is we are doing something called data as audio. In order to make sure we have the lowest latency and the lowest jitter between reading the Sensel, which runs at 125 Hertz, and the audio side of the plate model, which runs a lot faster, we needed to try and make sure that that data could get through as quickly as possible. Things like OSC had high latency, so we're actually putting data into an audio channel, and the host, Reaper, will pass that through without any delay before making any sound.
Because we use physical modeling, where the excitation is driven by a microphone or pickup signal, the sounds the Vodhrán produces capture the differences between hitting with the knuckles versus the fingertips or the nails. You can also have other sounds like scratching and rubbing.
I'm Bex Birch, and I endorse the Vodhrán. What? The Vustata. The Bodily. The... what is it? The Vodhrán. Bella. The Vodhrán. Wow, it's so expressive. Now I don't need to go skip diving for my sheets of metal.
What else can you do with Vodhrán? Well, if you are fascinated by instrument design and want to meaningfully investigate aspects of what makes a good musical instrument. Through carefully designed processes, ecologies, and specificities, the Vodhrán makes a perfect research tool. You can use it to run exploratory studies of how expert musicians explore and react to a novel instrument and the impact of intuitive, semi-intuitive, and non-intuitive mappings on exploration and learnability. You might find musicians quickly developing performance styles that range from what we might consider more traditionally virtuosic to the more avant-garde and unexpected. Or you might use the Vodhrán to explore a study looking at the impact of the 3 audio action mappings, intuitive, semi-intuitive, and non-intuitive, on motor learning in non-musicians. Except for a worldwide pandemic breaks out and halts all practice-based research.